welcome to Community Hotline. My name is Monica Weitzel. We're here in Gresham at MetroEast Community Media. We have a full show tonight, but we're going to start off talking with the East Metro Mediation and Ecumenical Ministries. I have with me Tara Cleland, you're with East Metro. And Jenny Pratt, you are the program manager for Ecumenical Ministries. Right. Thanks for being here, ladies, both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
The reason you two are coming together is because of a program called Second Home, which is part of the City of Gresham's. Well, it's a program that you actually brought to the City of Gresham. Is that right, Tara?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell our viewers a little bit about what Second Home is. Or actually, maybe I'll start with you, because you actually have been involved with Second Home for quite a while now.
Right.
Right? And you're the one responsible for bringing it to Gresham. So Jenny, tell me about Ecumenical Ministries' part in this and what Second Home actually does for kids.
Right. Well, Ecumenical Ministries of Oregon is working around the state just to provide opportunities for all Oregonians to be healthy and to live full lives in the area of spirituality, their physical health, and also emotional health. And so we have 10 different community ministries that are a part of that. And Second Home is one of those. And Second Home we just finished our 5th year in the Beaverton School District, where we started. And we started because Lisa Mentasana, who is the homeless liaison there, noticed that there were many kids who wanted to stay in school and graduate from high school, but their instability in housing was making that hard for them to work up to their potential. So she approached Ecumenical Ministries of Oregon and said, can we put a program together based on your shared housing model that would serve this particular niche of youth? And so we did put together the Second Home program, and it hinges on a rental contract that the kids put together with home providers, and that rental contract is fulfilled not by money but by something that the kids contribute to the household, and just like anybody else in the household would contribute. So that was the beginning, and
how has it done?
We've seen a lot of success, and we consider success seeing a student progress to the next grade level or seeing them graduate from high school. So we're seeing great results. In fact, this last year we had 100% success, and all of our students progressed to the next grade level or graduated from high school. So
that's an impressive statistic right there. You don't see that very often.
Right.
So the kids that you're talking about are they're homeless already? They don't have.
Right. So we serve students who are particularly unaccompanied, which means that they are without parents or guardians at this point in their life, and they are without stable housing. So we serve that particular niche in Beaverton, and now we've had just the privilege of expanding to the Gresham Barlow School District as well.
That's wonderful. You know, we have a video, and I think we should take a look at that, and then afterwards we can talk about how it's coming to Gresham and how that's all changing. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at that video now.
Only those kids can tell you really what it's like to be alone when the sun goes down.
I talked with a student last night. He's been sleeping in a different place every single night for several weeks now.
We had 2 kids. They were both sleeping, one under the overhang of a basketball court of a middle school. The other one actually spent several nights in the school dugout with all the clothes he owned on his back.
And then coming in early in the morning to take a shower, get cleaned up, and no one knew about it.
Sleep in the dugout, go to school the next day, did that several days before he got up the courage to tell a teacher what was happening. When a person, for some reason or another, is disconnected and completely by themselves, that's got to be the scariest thing in the world. They've used up all the resources within themselves, and still they don't have a home, and still they don't have people around them who are expressing concern and care. That is lonely, and that's scary. We say that we're matching kids with home providers and providing them stable housing so they can graduate. It's much more than that. A home is a place where you know you can come, and this is your space. The students that I'm talking with say, I want that family who is going to sit down with me at dinner. And more often than not, these kids that we work with have never had the opportunity to sit down with a family to dinner, and they want that. They want to know what that's like to have a family that cares about them. I met with someone just this week, and this student just kind of ran out and said, you know what I want in a home? Love. That says it all. And they are missing that crucial piece of having been loved and cared about and nurtured. And that's what they want. Isn't that what we all want?
Yes, Jenny. I would say that is what we all want, isn't it? So you must know some of these kids then. You've gotten to know them. Do you see a huge difference in them once? I mean, what's the biggest change that you see when a kid finds a stable housing situation and then gets to go back to school?
I think what's most exciting is that they get to move from just thinking about survival. Where am I going to sleep tonight? Where am I going to wash my clothes? What am I going to eat? They get to move from that to settling in and knowing this is my space. These are people who care about me. This is where I belong. I'm safe. They get to move to pursuing gifts and interests, discovering talents they never knew that they had. They get to be a kid. And for the first time, some of them get to participate on sports teams in their school. They get to do leadership at school. One of our students was able to pursue piano lessons for the first time. So just all of their interests and potential, you see them begin to discover that and just fill out as the person that they are, that they've not been able to fully explore before.
That's a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Now, this is not a foster program, correct?
Right,
It's a home, food and lodging, basically, is what the family is expected to provide.
Right, and safe housing. And sometimes that includes food. Sometimes students have resources for their food. But usually home providers are providing the housing, the food, and they're volunteer home providers. So it's quite a gift they're giving.
Yeah.
Right.
So Tara, why did you want to bring this to Gresham?
Well, and I think the video says a lot of that. I saw the video and I saw a presentation about this program that was so successful in Beaverton, and I thought, why aren't we doing that here?
Yeah.
And so I contacted our homeless liaisons here at the Gresham-Barlow School District, and they loved the idea. And they said, why aren't we doing that here?
Yeah.
We have 344 homeless youth, identified homeless youth in the Gresham-Barlow School District, and we have 65 that are unaccompanied. So 65 that
on their own.
They're completely
like sleeping
on their
on the
own.
street or wherever they can find.
Yeah,
that's
they're
a high number of kids, and those are the kids that you don't want out there. I mean, you don't want any kids out there, but if they don't have a direction or they don't have a safe place to be, that's a recipe for trouble, you know, for them or for somebody else. But get them in a safe and stable home, and everything changes, it sounds like. So when is this going to happen? Is this happening now in Gresham? Has this started?
Yes, it's happening now. We're looking for home providers now.
Okay.
So we'll be starting the full swing of things in the fall for this coming school year, because the kiddos are out of school right now.
Yes.
But we need home providers. We've had a handful of home providers already step forward just from the few presentations that I've done in the community, and some of our volunteer mediators at East Metro Mediation are doing.
Good. So tell us what is required. If I, had a home that I thought maybe I could open up to a homeless youth, what do I need to know?
You need to give me a call first.
Okay.
Give me a call so that I can tell you all about this program, because you're not expected to have much. You need to have a safe home. The kids they need to have their own bed. So it doesn't even mean that they need their own bedroom. They need their own bed. And you're not placed with a student. It's not like a foster program where you just get whatever they give you. You go through an interview process. So there's 2 rounds of interviews where the high school students are interviewing the families and the families are interviewing them to make sure that they're a good match.
So could either one say, no, this doesn't work for me?
Absolutely, and they should, because that's part of making sure that they're going to be a good fit and be successful.
Right, because if a kid finds out that, if they decide, no, that family wouldn't work for me at all, then it's
and
not
vice
gonna
versa.
Work. Vice versa. So what if there are problems afterwards? Are there ways to mediate that?
Yes, and that's why East Metro Mediation is part of this triangular partnership. So we help mediate not just the conflicts, but we help them set up their rental contract. So the students are tenants, right? So it's a landlord-tenant relationship with the home provider. They're establishing rental history before they even graduate high school.
Oh, that's a really good thing to have.
Yeah,
because that's tough for kids moving out for the first time, and if these kids haven't had even a place to live, that's good. So, Can you tell me about any kids that you know of, just like real briefly, that have gone through this program that have succeeded?
Yes, we've had quite a few kids go on beyond graduation to pursue those goals that they had for themselves, whether that be work or college. We've been pretty excited that many of our kids have received full rides to PCC. So for
Really?
example, I sat with a couple kids in their first term at PCC last fall, and they said, look at us. You know, we are in
proud they
college.
must be.
People didn't even expect us to graduate from high school. And here we are in college. And one of them made the dean's list, and she was proud of that, as
And
she
should be.
should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just exciting. Every one of them, you know, is just such an amazing individual with so much to offer society, and they need the opportunity to do that, which means they need their community to come around them and just walk with them through that season of life that they've been doing by themselves. And it's a great privilege.
It's a really cool program. I really like it, but it is really a community effort,
It
right?
is.
You said the Gresham Barlow School District, East Metro Mediation, Ecumenical
And our
Ministries,
nonprofit.
the City of Gresham, and the Second Home Program.
Right.
So then you need the people in the community to step forward.
That's a crucial piece, is just to have individuals and communities who believe in these kids to step forward and say, here's how we're going to invest in you, and there are many ways to do that.
So it really doesn't require a big output of money to do this, is that right? I mean, obviously there'll be maybe some, but
Right.
it's not going to be a huge investment
Right.
on a family's part, mostly investment of their time and
love.
some love, yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
some
right.
love. Because you want families that are going to care about these kids, and I can't imagine people would do it unless they did care about
Right.
kids. What are some of the questions people ask you that they're most concerned about?
I think that they want to know, you know, who are these kids, and the interview process gives them an opportunity to get to know the students
Are there
and vice
background
versa.
checks?
We do background checks on
Both
home
sides?
providers and students. Students have an opportunity to call references on home providers and vice versa. So we're giving them tools to do research to discover, is this
good.
going to be a good fit for me, as Tara said. And we want to empower the students to make those decisions for themselves, because oftentimes with their situation, they've not been able to make decisions that have impacted them. And so we're giving them the power to say, this is a good fit for me or not.
What do you see as it? What do kids like the best about getting in that home situation? Is it being able to sit down at a dinner table and be with a family, or just?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Is it different for everyone?
It is, but I do, when I talk to them, a lot of times they will say several things. They'll say, I want to know what it's like to sit down to dinner with a family because I've never done that before. Or one of the things that really always surprises me is they'll say, I want someone to ask me how my day was. No one's ever done that. Or they'll
sad is
say,
that?
I want someone to ask me if my homework's done. No one ever asks me if I have
Wow.
homework and have I done it and do I
Nobody
need
cared
help
enough.
with it.
Nobody cared enough.
No one was there to do that. Either they couldn't or they perhaps,
didn't.
you know, just weren't able.
We're almost out of time. Tara, tell us what people need to know. They need to call you, and we'll have the number up on the screen. Anything else that people need to know, and why should they do this?
Well, and they don't have to open up their homes. They don't have to be a home provider to help support this fantastic program. They can help with funding. They could help maybe buy a prom dress or a tuxedo for one of these kids.
So if they just wanted to help in some little way,
Some little
and
way.
they have an event they could maybe take them to or something like that, would that, you know, I have
Yes.
season tickets to maybe to the
Right.
Trailblazers, I could take them to a few games.
And if they're part of an organization that would love one of us to come speak, then we can come and speak and tell them all about this program and help recruit more people that might be excited to spread the word and help these kids.
I love it. That's great. Thank you both for being here. Sorry the time went so fast.
Thank
I'd love
you.
to hear more about it, but this is a really good opportunity for people in the community to reach out in a way that maybe won't impact them, their pocketbook as much as
Right.
some, but they will really make a difference in a child's life. So,
Yes.
thanks so much for watching this first segment of Community Hotline. If you are one of those people that have a home that you could open up, or if you can help in other ways, as Sarah said, then do contact her, find out more about it, and we hope that you'll help out the community in that way. Thanks so much. We'll be right
Thank
back.
you.
here to shoot my documentary was more than I ever would have dreamed of doing.
This is a community media station.
It was phenomenal.
Ready, camera one.
What is it about this place that makes so many different people come together?
Ready, camera two.
Very professional, experienced people.
You can use these industry standard pieces of equipment.
Ready, camera three. Take three.
You don't have to be rich to do this.
Open people's eyes to something they've never even thought of before.
Cool stuff happens. It becomes this community.
That's going to really change who's telling the stories and who's controlling the messaging.